So we are a complex superorganism. Humans have always had microbes. And so again, we just started to appreciate how diverse this is. It's sort of like pretend you go to your backyard and there's a veil and you never knew what was behind the veil. But you open it in 2011 and you see this beautiful garden that has hundreds of unique plants. So every person, and we'll focus on the gut, has somewhere between 150 to maybe 250 unique species of bacteria. I want you to think about that like a unique plant in your secret garden that I just brought up, right? Also starting to appreciate that sometimes the gardens are destroyed. So this can be from antibiotic use. So antibiotics, imagine you kill half your garden. This can be from bad food. Imagine you poison, some of those plants. This could be from certain foreign invaders that take over the garden, your weeds or whatever. And so when you have that type of a situation, that's now being tied to human health. So the destruction of this ecosystem is bad. What do you want to do if your garden's destroyed? You want to fix it, right? And what we sit today is you have a whole system of probiotics that's been around for a long time. The diversity of what you can buy is very, very little. Think of it like one or two plants of that entire garden. So yes, it may be a part of the ecosystem, but it actually doesn't have the capability of the entire ecosystem. But marketing teams love to say it does, which drives scientists like us crazy when they do it. And what you really want is you want a ability to fix it, but we just don't have the tools. And so an analogy again from like a garden perspective, like if you're in the States and you've ever like driven to a gas station, sometimes they sell these like shitty plants outside. Pretend that's the only plant you can buy. That's where we live today. You don't have garden settings. So you can't even get the darn plant and put it into the garden because we can't buy it as a society, even though we know it exists. So it's this huge opportunity, right? It's like rediscovering agriculture.
Yeah.
But one part of it is obviously getting the plant back into the garden. So this would be like probiotics. So where you have the live organisms, you put it back into the garden. The next piece is you need to make sure it's fed well, right? All plants, they have different sunlight requirements, different nutrient requirements, you name it. So we also have to understand how food impacts this garden and the specific members within. The problem, again, today is we don't have the ability to put plants into the garden, and we don't understand how food really impacts our microbes as a field. And that's something that's solvable with technology. And so as Holobiome's thinking about this, it's like, yes, we respect there's been some work done in this space, but you have to acknowledge it's radically changed over the last 10 years. And if we really want to capture the power of the microbiome, you got to develop the right tools. And to develop the right tools, you need the right technology and the right team to do it, who is willing to call out the bullshit and say, our North Star is like, we want it to work. So anyways, that's a pathway on, but a little bit of background of like how to think about your microbiome.
Yeah.
I will say various tips that a lot of people ask, like, yes, it's fermented food generally is good, is what we're seeing. Yes, eat vegetables. So the complex fibers within there, yes, the microbes within your gut like it. But, imagine you have like a corn fertilizer and you're trying to grow your corn on cob in your magic garden, as I brought up before. The corn's not there, the fertilizer doesn't do anything. So, there's a couple of just huge gaps that we need to fill. Tech is here. Scientists are motivated to do it. And there's, certainly a path to make that happen. But I'll take a pause there. So that, I hope, catches you up a little bit on like the field of probiotics. It's one plant of a very large garden.